how the CCP tries to get the West involved in the persecution of the Uyghurs. When the Uyghur Forced
Labor Prevention
Thank
Act.
you. When that came out, it was targeting all of the slave labor that the CCP was having Uyghurs do, Xinjiang cotton, Xinjiang tomatoes. And so many Western companies were like, no, please don't pass this. Our supply chains are complicated. We're probably guilty of using slave labor.
Well, I mean,
they didn't say that,
part,
but that's what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well, the CCP is using the Uyghur slaves to make this genocide a profitable venture. Not only that, at the same time, they're making the companies, even all of us, you, me, and the audiences, complicit and the enablers of this genocide when we use the products made by Uyghur slaves, sweat, blood, and tears. They're making profit. How do you compete with slave labor? How do you compete with free labor of millions of people? Just the last year in 2024, 3.34, almost 3.5 million Uyghurs were transferred from our homeland to China proper to work on the supply chains. So with that, they are basically hostage taking all the companies and the countries with power of the Belt and Road Initiative and the trade threats, manipulation in the United Nations as the second largest donor, and the debt trap diplomacy. Basically, Chinese government is trying to be the power, strong arm the world. And sometimes it's working. Look at it, what's happening today to Uyghur people is a war on freedom, war on faith and religion, and it's a war on humanity. It's a war on women and the children. Uyghur women's bodies are being the battleground of this genocide. They are facing forced sterilization, forced abortions, forced marriages. Chinese state media reported that 1.1 million Han Chinese cadres, mostly male, deployed into Uyghur homes, live inside of their homes, supervise and monitor their daily lives. Uyghur women are subject to sexual abuse inside of their homes. So in the front of such a crimes that some of them are you never heard of, how in the world people stay silent? Where are the Hollywood celebrities, NBA superstars, all these famous talk show hosts, usually so vocal against any kind of social injustice? Where are they when the perpetrator is the Chinese Communist government? So there's the consequences to speak out against the CCP. And because there's the consequences, you just stay silent and act like you didn't hear, you didn't see it.
And this is very serious because what the CCP is doing is trying to eliminate the Uyghur as a people. They're doing this in Tibet too, with trying to breed them out, trying to destroy the culture. There's a time limit to being able to do something to actually save the Uyghurs before the CCP is successful at breaking the culture.
I mean, also if you add in things like organ harvesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
That there is a very definite time limit.
Yeah. So what I mean, the many countries around the world have now acknowledged that, well, the UN and all that, but that there is at least something bad going on in Xinjiang. Many countries are labeling it genocide, but it's
I don't know,
still
many, but the US
That's true. The US has, and that we're the only ones that matter.
12 countries.
But what is being done to, this hasn't stopped anything?
Well, actually in August 2022, the UN Human Rights High Commissioner released its report in the last 15 minutes before her term expired. In her Xinjiang report, the report confirmed everything I have said. And it confirmed that these crimes may amount to crimes against humanity. But after more than 3 years, governments haven't taken no tangible actions to stop the genocide or hold the CCP accountable. So the China's invasion of our homeland was driven by a combination of strategic, economic, and ideological motivations. While they're taking over the world and they are eradicating the Uyghur people, just like what you mentioned, the organ harvesting was used against the Falun Gong practitioners, now the Uyghurs, and the next probably Tibetans and the Hong Kongers. So basically, when you look at it, what they are doing in my homeland with this most technologically enabled genocide with surveillance and the DNA collections of entire group of people for the organ harvesting. They're using my homeland as a testing ground and implementing the policies in Tibet. Like in Tibet too, right now, 1 million children are taken. 1 million Uyghur children are taken to the boarding schools. And then they use the police and the harsh policies in Hong Kong, basically demolish the democracy in Hong Kong in front of the entire world. And now Taiwan, who's next? The world. It will be the entire world. If we don't speak out now and they stop the Chinese Communist Party, the only voice left will be one of regret. And also, we need to fight not for the Uyghurs only, not for the Tibetans, not only for the Falun Gong Hong Kongers or the Taiwanese, but we need to speak out for the future of the free world that everyone in this country worked so hard to establish last 60, 70 years. That's being at stake right now. If we don't take action and stop the CCP, then it will be your children and your grandchildren who will pay the consequences of an illiberal, dark world. If you are listening to me, just remember what I talked about, how the CCP is treating the Uyghurs, Tibetans, and the Hong Kongers and the Falun Gong practitioners and the Southern Mongolians and the now being threat to Taiwan. And imagine the future of what your children live if you don't take action today. So we are all responsible for what happens next.
Thank you for watching. A link to Rushan's book, Unbroken, is below, and this clip was just one short highlight from our hour-plus long podcast. When you join us at ChinaUncensored.tv, you'll be able to download the full podcast and get exclusive deep dive episodes. But more importantly, you'll be standing up to the CCP. Link is below.